So 2 years ago, I made a video about the masterpiece of cinema, The Princess Switch. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend you check it out, but just to summarize, it's about two girls, one of whom is Stacy, a baker in Chicago, and Margaret, who's a duchess in Europe somewhere. And golly gee, wouldn't you know, they just so happen to look exactly the same. They end up switching places a la The Parent Trap, and Margaret falls in love with Stacy's friend Kevin, and Stacy falls in love with Prince Edward, who Margaret was supposed to marry. Now, 2 years have passed since then, and Stacy is the princess of whatever country, and Margaret has broken up with Kevin because she's going to become the queen of her own country due to the death of the king. And that's about where we are now. So let's sit back and enjoy what will no doubt be the highlight of my year, the Princess Switch switched again. But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Dashlane. If you're like me, in which case, that's rough, you probably find yourself using the same password over and over again for different things, right? But of course, if one password gets hacked, before you know it, all your personal information's been stolen and someone's using your credit card to buy 150 copies of Ham Taro Ham Heartbreak. Being someone who uses the internet for pretty much everything, it's invaluable to have that extra level of security that Dashlane can give you. Dashlane is a one-stop shop for your digital identity. It manages all your passwords, personal info, financials, whatever you need, making your life safe and more secure. It works across all devices, including Apple products, PCs, Android, Safari, and Chrome. It also has a secure autofill feature that works for personal information, credit cards, that type of thing. It comes with a VPN to stop people from tracking you, and they even check if your personal information is being sold on the dark web. So to try Dashlane for free for life on your first device, go to dashlane.com/Alex Meyers, and you can use my promo code Alex Meyers to get 25% off if you decide to upgrade to the premium version. So the link is down below, and once again, thank you Dashlane for sponsoring this video. Okay, back to the show. We start right off with Stacy and Prince talking about Margaret's situation.
Margaret never expected to be queen. Remember how much she hated the spotlight? She just sounded so sad when I called her.
Remind me, why are we talking about Margaret again right now?
Because I can't sleep when I'm worried.
Well, there are other things we might do to relieve your anxiety.
Anyway, after talking about this for a while, Stacy decides to just pack up a bag and fly back to Chicago to visit Kevin and his daughter Olivia and just kind of see how everyone's holding up, you know what I mean?
Stacy, what are you doing here?
I was in the neighborhood and thought I would check on my business partner. I love the new location, by the way.
Thanks. Where's Edward?
Oh, he's meeting me in London on our way to Montenaro. Ooh.
Well, you look fantastic.
Thanks. And you look comfortable.
No, it's all good.
He hasn't gone on a date since the breakup with you know who.
Yeah, the whole One Direction thing really hit us all pretty hard. I mean, 1 minute you're spending all your hard-earned money on posters and pencil cases, thinking you're really investing in something that's gonna last for a long time. And next thing you know, wham bam, blue to bow, betrayal and heartbreak. Love is a lie, wrestling's fake. I collected 150 Tootsie Wrappers with little Indian star on it, didn't even get one free Tootsie Pop. Anyway, so seeing Kevin like this, Stacy's starting to get a little worried.
We need to talk.
How about you go and wipe down one of those tables over there? What's up? What's up?
Well, you're wearing sweatpants, you won't date, and you're collecting cats.
Okay, Stacy. How about you just stay in your lane over there, all right? Look at me, I'm Stacy. I married a prince because I tricked him into falling in love with me. I don't even own a pair of sweatpants. Now, long story short, Stacy talks Kevin into going to Margaret's royal coronation thing to support her at the very least, but also, you know, there might be some kind of sort of like magic Crimbus miracles is gonna happen, you know what I mean? So they all fly over to the small country of Montenaro to hang out with Margaret.
It feels like ages since I saw you. Well, we're here now. And, brought you a little surprise.
Margaret!
Look at you.
She's grown up since you last saw her.
Well, at least one of you finally has. Well, you still picking fights on Twitter about teraflops and Star Wars lore? Hey, I just don't want to be part of a losing team, and therefore I feel the need to tear down everyone else in a desperate attempt to hold on to the dignity I never actually had in the first place. It's not that weird, Margaret.
When we didn't receive your RSVP, we weren't sure you were coming.
I hope it's okay that we're here. As friends.
Of course it is.
I just want to stop here for a second, okay? So, like, Kevin and Margaret broke up, and now they're just trying to, like, be friends or whatever, right? But, like, who could Kevin possibly date after this? So, Fantasia, tell me about your ex-boyfriend. Oh, he was just a friend of a friend. We dated for a while, but he was kind of a douche. You know how it is. How about your ex-girlfriend? Oh, she was the duchess of a small European kingdom, and we broke up because she had to ascend the throne and become the queen. I just collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Anyway, so they end up helping Margaret decorate her palace for Christmas, and one thing leads to another with Kevin and Margaret being left
Alone together.
to make some hot cocoa in the kitchen.
This shouldn't be too hard. There's the sugar behind the fluff.
I'll get it.
It's quite all right.
Ah, it'd be easier if I get it. Be
I just told you.
Not funny.
No.
Oh, you want funny? I'll give you funny.
I like to imagine while they're doing this, there's some royal servant just standing in the doorway like, well, I was gonna go home to my sick daughter and wife who hasn't slept in 3 days, but hey, no, don't stop on my account. I would love to clean this up when you're done. The next day, Stacy goes to Margaret's room to talk about Kevin and, you know, like what's going on with all of that stuff. And also, why the heck was she getting all touchy-feely with her chief of staff, Antonio, last night?
Tony, did you always attend cabinet meetings with the king?
I thought you could use a little guidance.
But I have to learn to do this on my own. I have been training for the past 6 months.
I just want you to know I'm here for you. Whatever you need. Whenever you need me.
It's very sweet.
Okay, all right, I see what's going on here. You ain't slick, pal. So later that day, it's time for the royal ball to commemorate the new queen rising to power. And also because every movie in this genre has to have a ball for some reason. Like, is this an actual fantasy girls have? Oh boy, I can't wait to not eat for 5 days so I can fit into a dress I'll never wear again and put on shoes that make my feet bleed so I can awkwardly dance for 4 hours and take pictures I'll never look at again. So romantic. Anyway, soon-to-be Queen Margaret makes her appearance and everyone's congratulating her on not dying before the king did, I guess. And wouldn't you know, Antonio's just right there.
I must say you are the most beautiful monarch in the history of Montenaro.
I've heard that our first queen, Judith the Brave, rivaled Helen of Troy.
Yeah, but her dance moves really suck, though. Just show them how it's done.
So Kevin and Margaret do their little dance thing and they're talking about sweet nonsense or whatever, and just when things are looking like they might be getting pretty good, you'll never guess what happens.
Let's get this party started, shall we?
There's 3 Vanessa Hudgens in this movie? They made a sequel to The Princess Switch and they added another Vanessa Hudgens? At this rate, Princess Switch 3 is just gonna be about an army of Vanessa Hudgens rising from the melting polar ice caps, snatching up every 30-something-year-old guy with a chiseled jawline and no particular personality whatsoever. But all the same, this Vanessa Hudgens is Fiona, Margaret's cousin, who walks like this.
Ooh.
And says things like,
Must we really do this?
Pixar didn't happen.
Oh, it's such a pain to find good help these days. You're yummy.
do you ever just, like, you know? What we also learned is that Fiona inherited a bunch of money from her family a couple years ago, but spent all of it pretty quick and basically has nothing left. Anyway, right after this Fiona girl just kind of shows up like Cardi B in every single song for some reason, Stacy goes to see what's up, and we get this wonderful scene.
You're the one who switched places with my cousin.
That's me.
You two seriously look like twins. Spoopy.
I mean spooky.
Have you two done the switch thing since you tied the knot with this royal hotness?
Oh, I've seen that video before. So thankfully this scene ends, and after we've all scooped our brains up off the floor, the next day, I think, we see Margaret getting pulled aside by Antonio for a very important meeting.
What's this all about?
Margaret, I'd be lying if I told you I served you only out of a sense of duty. You're not just about to become the Queen of Montenaro. You've also become the Queen of my heart.
Please, somebody turn it off. Just make it stop, please. Now, as you might imagine, Margaret's feeling a little confused about all this because, I mean, like, on the one hand, Kevin's over here being all suave and manly. He's a professional baker, single father, raising his teenage daughter who seems like she's got a pretty good head on her shoulders, you know, instead of just being like, this family stinks. No one understands me. Would you please just eat your dinner, honey? You don't know how hard it is to be me. I saw Jason talk to another girl in the hallway yesterday. And then on the other side, there's Antonio, who looks like he steals a lot of girls' underwear. So what's a girl to do? Well, in Margaret's case, she goes over to Stacy and has a little heart-to-heart talk.
But maybe he's right. Maybe we could be good for each other. You and Kevin are good for each other. Kevin and I haven't even begun to talk about what went wrong between us. And every time we try, we never get a chance to finish our conversation. Or maybe you need to try harder? Is love really supposed to take so much effort?
Fun fact, no it's not. Unless, of course, you're one of those girls who says they hate drama, but you're actually the one causing it like 90% of the time. But now that Margaret doesn't know what to do, and she can't really have a good solid conversation with Kevin because Antonio just keeps showing up, turns out there's really only one possible way to solve this conundrum.
You want us to do what?
Switch places again.
Well, I was gonna say sit down and have an honest, mature adult conversation, but yeah, sure. I mean, hey, we still got an hour left of this movie. Let's go with that one.
You said you needed more time to talk things over with Kevin, but you can't do that because you're too busy.
So, Stacy can be you, and you and my dad can spend some quality time together.
It's terribly risky. It was risky the last time, and you're the one who thought of it.
And wouldn't you know, once again, Vanessa Hudgens and Vanessa Hudgens have to switch places because of... But need I remind you, there's also another Vanessa Hudgens in this movie for budgetary reasons, I assume.
You said if I were Margaret, we'd be set. If Betty Crocker from Belgravia could pull the switch, why can't I?
I'm not feeling it.
I wouldn't have to do it for long, just long enough to get crowned queen and transfer a small fortune to an unnumbered bank account in the Cayman.
So Fiona's plan is to kidnap Margaret and take her place so she can send herself a bunch of money. But, as you may recall from about 10 seconds ago, Margaret and Stacy are also switching places so Margaret can do some ham with Kevin. But all the same, that night is the annual Christmas concert where Stacy is pretending to be Margaret while the real Margaret tries to stomach her nausea and have this conversation with Kevin.
I was heartbroken when you said you just wanted to be friends.
I only said that because you said that. Maybe the spontaneous thing to do is give us another chance.
I do love spontaneous.
While we're all just over here dry heaving for a while, Fiona's henchman spills his whatever on Stacy, so the other one takes her to the restroom to clean up, and here's where we get the single greatest scene in the entire movie.
Right in here, your ladyship.
Thank you, Mindy. You're an angel.
Oh, some say.
I haven't seen Fiona. Is she here?
What just happened? I'm sorry. Can we please just run that one more time? What is happening? Netflix, you can just take the rest of the year off, okay? Nothing will ever top this movie. So after Fiona takes the place of who she thinks is Margaret, she goes back to the palace and plays dress up for a while, but guess who shows up right that moment?
Stacy, I'm back.
Who is it?
It's me, Margaret.
I had the most enchanting time of my life. Kevin is the most wonderful man in the world. I've never been happier in my life. Oh, Stacy, I'm so glad you talked me into switching places.
So just to summarize everything real quick, because obviously you're all really invested in the story here, Fiona kidnapped Stacy, who was pretending to be Margaret, while Margaret was hanging out with Kevin. But everyone still thinks Stacy is Margaret, so Fiona technically is like Margaret in this moment, and Margaret is Stacy, but the only people who know that are Margaret, Stacy, and the headmistress lady, who have no choice but to tell Prince Edward what's going on because he was intentionally left in the dark for no logical reason whatsoever.
And I can assure you, the woman upstairs in my suite is not Princess Stacy, unless she's gone completely off her trolley.
Let me see if I follow this. So, if the two of you haven't switched back, and this is Lady Margaret, and if Lady Margaret upstairs isn't Stacy, who's upstairs and where's my wife?
Now, at first, Fiona's plan was just to send herself a bunch of money, like I said before, but now that she's here, she just kind of decides to, ruin Margaret's entire life, starting with Kevin, telling him that she changed her mind about getting back together, and she really just wants him to go home to Chicago immediately.
I still don't understand what happened.
She changed her mind. That's all.
Are you sure she wasn't pranking you?
Okay, pro tip. If someone breaks up with you as a prank, do yourself a favor and just never talk to them ever again. Now, Fiona gets this idea that if she can move the coronation up to tonight instead of the next day, then everyone's really gonna think that she's Queen Margaret and she can basically just do whatever the heck she wants. But that's when she runs into a little tiny problem with Antonio.
I'm guessing you're after money because you're not stupid enough to think that you can maintain this charade for long. So you can either make me a partner in your little scheme or be exposed as an imposter.
You don't need my money. You're filthy rich.
My eldest brother inherited the majority of the family estate, which left me with expensive tastes and a very small
pee-pee. But yeah, in a shocking plot twist that everyone saw coming, because Margaret got back together with Kevin, Antonio decides a proportionate response to this would be for him to assist Fiona in destroying Margaret's life. Because nobody turns me down. So long story short, Margaret and Edward go rescue Stacy and they all stop the coronation just before Fiona's crowned the queen. But like I said, no one else knows they switched places, so it's all just kind of pandemonium for a while.
Oh, dear Lord. There are 3 of them.
No, Your Eminence. There is only one Margaret Delacourt, and I am she.
Arrest this woman at once for treason.
Don't you dare!
And you are?
I am Princess Stacy Juliet de Novo, Windham of Belgravia. Fiona kidnapped me thinking I was Margaret.
I'm very confused.
Yeah, dude, I get it. I mean, like, I stopped trying to understand this movie about 10 minutes in, so your guess is as good as mine. But in the end, everyone figures out what's really going on. Antonio gets thrown in the dungeon, and Fiona tries to pull out the old, I had a hard childhood routine.
Tiny, teeny little question. Since I technically didn't kidnap you, am I really guilty?
Yes.
Yes. But Maggie knew it's Christmas.
You committed treason.
I didn't mean to. You know, it's always been hard for me. Growing up with parents who despised me.
Honey, I know I cheated on you, but I didn't mean to, okay? You see, my mom always used to beat me in Monopoly growing up, so if you think about it, it's actually really like society's fault that I made out with your best friend. Anyway, after this is all settled, everyone rushes to the airport to stop Kevin from leaving. And then for the finale, they do the Queen's coronation thing, where we also see the couple from The Christmas Prince firmly establishing phase 2 of the Netflix Christmas rom-com cinematic universe, aka the Avengers of So yeah, that was a movie. Just want to give a big shout out to Vantasia for being the first person to finish all 200 levels of my game. So big shout out to her, congratulations. Now the other 2 winners have already been picked and they're going to be in upcoming videos as well. But starting December 1st, we're going to have another contest where from December 1st to December 10th, the total accumulative score that you get by playing levels 60 to 70 will all be added together, and the top 3 people with the highest score will also get to be characters in upcoming videos as well. So you have about a week to practice and get ready. If that appeals to you, good luck. There's definitely this very kind of clear-cut formula for like rom-com sequels or whatever, because it's the same with After 2, it's the same with Kissing Booth 2, it's the same with To All the Boys 2, and now it's the same with Princess Switch 2. It's probably the same for Christmas Prince 2. I don't know, I haven't seen that movie, but it's like, you know, the first movie is about someone getting together, and then the second movie is like, the first half is about them getting back together again, and then the second half, there's like something else that happens. Like, I mean, like, I don't know why this is a thing, because the whole Fiona storyline is incredibly unnecessary, unless, like I said, they're building towards this like Terminator style, like just all these clones of Vanessa Hudgens are taking over the world, and then like this resistance has to rise up or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're building towards that, in which case, mad respect. There's just a lot that's so unnecessary in this movie, like the fact that it exists. Something this movie does out what's really weird is like, okay, so these types of like Christmas Hallmark Channel / Netflix Vanessa Hudgens rom-coms, right? Which is now its own genre, it must be. Vanessa Hudgens movie has become its own genre at this point. Like, clearly the main demographic for these movies is like 20s to 50s, like women specifically, but just adults, right? It's made for adults, but this movie, you know, Fiona has these henchmen, and I didn't really touch on it in the video, but like, they're like these Three Stooges slapstick bumbling idiots. Like, they talk like characters from Shark Boy and Lava Girl or something like that. It's made for kids. Like, these 2 characters are like the Jar Jar Binks of the movie. What kids are gonna be watching this movie that would find this stuff funny? You know what I mean? Why would a kid be watching this movie? But whatever. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video, everybody. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so you don't miss any videos from me. Send me an email at alexmyerscontact@gmail.com. Let me know what video or you know, movie, TV show, whatever I should probably check out. I have a game on the App Store, as you've seen. It's like a Candy Crush kind of match 3 type game, but it has all my little goofy characters in it. It's free to download. Links are in the description. I have a podcast. It's like a dating story, dating advice type of podcast type thing. I do it with my girlfriend Kelsey, and if you're interested in that, link is down below for that as well. And above all else, everybody have a great day, and I'll see you all next time.